Hey everyone, thanks for finding the podcast and taking time to listen. Ehnotherpodcast.com is where you can find everything to do with the podcast. Now, I'm on Twitter, Ehnother Podcast. You can just look it up, Ehnother Podcast. Thank you very much, and here is the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the show, Ehnother Podcast. A Thanksgiving special episode. Yes, it's Thanksgiving in Canada. The time has come when the fields have been harvested and we are putting together everything. We brought it all in. We're going to keep it for the winter because it's going to be cold here soon. So it's Thanksgiving time when we give thanks for our bountiful meals. Dill pickle popcorn. Brought to you by Dill Pickle Popcorn. And Google. And Wikipedia. Not really. Not any of those other things. Dill Pickle Popcorn, yeah, so. I am going to tell you about a little bit of Thanksgiving in Canada, just so you get a background of what's going on, because there's Thanksgiving in the States and a couple of other places, but right now, Thanksgiving in Canada, what it is a day of general thanksgiving to Almighty God for the bountiful harvest with which Canada has been blessed, and to be observed on the second Monday in October, which is today, the second Monday of October. Here's what we do in Canada. We spend time with each other, and we do all kinds of things. We eat some food. There's some religious practices as well, and that go on. You might go to church and have a meal with your church or whatever else. A lot of the Ukrainian churches do stuff earlier in the week, and especially here in town, sell some awesome pierogies, and that's how wicked things are. So Canada's Thanksgiving happens a month before the United States of America. The way it works in Canada is, like it said, the second Monday in October. The states have a general day, I think it is. I'm going to look it up right now. Giving in the USA. I could be wrong, but I think it is a specific day, Thursday, November 22nd. Maybe it's always a Thursday. So, unlike Canada, this one here, on the 4th Thursday in November. So it is a rolling day, but it's always Thursday. So, Thursday, November 6th? Yeah, this year. No, 22nd. So they celebrate Thanksgiving on November 22nd this year, and it's the 4th Thursday in November, unlike Canada, where it's the second Monday in October. We both celebrate Thanksgiving in the same way, same manners, almost. Turkey, food, pie. I like apple pie. What kind of pie do you like? We celebrate Thanksgiving like that. And generally people are like, what are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? And I'll get more to that at the end of the episodes, what I'm thankful for. Mainly because I'm so thankful I get to record the intro to this podcast again, because somehow my phone messed up. I'm just so glad it did not do that when I set up the recording with Nick Tan. So apparently everything's on my phone. I've seen the whole 59 minutes of it, so I'm glad that didn't crash. So this is episode 10. Episode 10, you're going to notice some videos in it, and then I say something about my favorite number being 10, and I'll tell you more about it later on in the episode, because I'm recording the intro again for the last time, hopefully. So I'm going to tell you about it now, and then it'll be really weird when I mention it later on. But 10, when I was a kid, I remember I wanted to be 10. 10 seemed like a good number. I wanted to be 10 years old. 10 years old, I got my bike for my birthday, but just 10 seemed like a good number. Like, you're like halfway to 20. It was kind of weird. And then when I got to 20, I wish I was 10. It was kind of weird. And then 30, I wish I was 10. I wish I could go back sometimes and be 10. But I can't, so I'm 33. So, in Canada, it's a statutory holiday. And so I have it off today. Today's Monday. I'm not at work. I'm doing the podcast. Second one I've recorded today, as I've said, and I got great things lined up for the podcast. Here is how it came over. Apparently, let's see, it came over with the French, and I get into that a little bit later on. Years later, French settlers, having crossed the ocean and arrived in Canada with Samuel de Champlain in 1604, held huge feasts of thanks. That's how Thanksgiving came about in Canada. So that's what we do. Now, what we do now is there is CFL football that gets played, and I think this is probably why my phone messed up last time, because I was talking about the CFL and how much it sucked, and how much the NFL is way better, but the Grey Cup is coming up close and all this stuff, and talked a little bit about hockey. So I'm going to go back and do it again, and this episode is already fucked now, so I'm just going with it. So I hope you go with it too. What I'll ask of you, though, before I get all serious and back onto the swing of things, if you have anything to say about the podcast, good, bad, I don't care, just send it to ehnotherpodcast@gmail.com, EHNOTHER podcast@gmail.com. Send it there. Twitter me, ehnotherpodcast at twitter.com. And give me your general feedback. That would be great. I would love that. Please do that. Please send me feedback. I would love that. Do you like the show? Do you like the format? Do you like what I'm doing? So yeah, on with my solo episode now without OJ this week. When he comes back next week, we're going to have fun. We're going to have lots of stuff to talk about. Right now, going on in Canada's Thanksgiving, there'll be football later on with the CFL, like I mentioned. And the CFL, we have a tradition of the Grey Cup. Now, the Grey Cup is kind of like the Stanley Cup, where the league owns it, and it's given to the team, and their name is engraved on it. And it's not like these two trophies are unlike any other trophies in the world, where they have lots of glamour and ritz behind it, and then the trophy is one trophy. There's not a new trophy made every year, so there's no general plate that's given out or trophy like the Super Bowl where the team actually gets it, or like the NBA championship where they get a new trophy that's made and their name is engraved on it and it's put in a display case and they have it. So they have their Super Bowl trophies from years past or NBA championships from years past. When you have your name engraved on the Stanley Cup or the Grey Cup, it's there for all time. And then when they run out of places, they take off a plate or they take off a ring off the Stanley Cup and they put it in the Hall of Fame so you can see it. And yeah, so speaking of the NHL, right now there's an NHL lockout, and there's lots of people who are suffering from this. So what's happening is, as you know, in Canada, hockey is a big thing. It's a huge thing in Canada. I'm more of an NFL guy and a baseball guy, but that's besides the point. I still like the NHL a little bit, mainly because I don't watch it because my team sucks, and they every year underperform, and every year they don't make the playoffs, and that's the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I don't care if anyone makes fun of me for being a Leafs fan, but seriously, it's getting ridiculous. So anyhow, right now, they're more concerned with fighting over money and stuff like that, and the fans want hockey back. We want hockey back, because it's ridiculous that you're going through all this trouble to fight over millions of dollars, which you can spare a little bit of, owners, and maybe the players being too greedy, who knows. Everyone doesn't know who to blame, so we're asking you to shut the puck up. And that song, this song that I'm going to play for you, by Scary Pete. You can check it out at scarypete.com. You can go check out his website. You can go buy his stuff. You can listen to the song. It's great. It's wonderful. And I asked his permission to play it on the podcast, and he said yes, so I'm excited about that. So scarypete.com. He is a comedic genius, really. And the song's funny, and the song basically tells the millionaires where to stick it and to shut the puck up. Now, I just want to, before I play it, I just want to mention a few things. There are two types of people who are suffering here, okay? The first one are the people that work concessions and other things at the arenas, where their livelihood depends on working for the arena and selling things at events. And the NHL season, you have 81 games, I think it is, or 82 games. You have 82 games overall, so half of them are at home. Half of the season anyways, your team is at home, and you're selling stuff, and you're working, and you're making money, some of it commission on how much you sell, and half of that is taken away from them if they happen to have a NBA franchise that plays in the same building. Places like the Staples Center, you actually have 3 teams in there. You have the Los Angeles Kings, the Stanley Cup winners from last year. You have the LA Lakers in there, and you have the Los Angeles Clippers in there. 3 teams. So they lost one. Last year, there was an NBA lockout. They actually lost 2 teams for a while, and they lost a whole bunch of games, and all those people lost all that money. The millionaires, they're still rich. The billionaire owners, they're still billionaires. It doesn't matter. Get it sorted, people. We want you to shut the puck up. Get on with it. Let these people who are suffering the most, the actual people who work for the concessions, who work at the arena, that's how they provide for their family, and you're robbing them of that. You're laying them off. Shame on you for doing that, for fighting over a little bit of money. Come to an agreement, and you know what? Let's get these people back to work, you greedy assholes. And then the other people that suffer are the fans, if they like hockey. Bigger people are the families of the people who work there, the kids, and whatever else. I feel sorry for you. So Scary Pete has a song for the NHL and the Players Association, and it's Shut the Puck Up. Thank you very much, guys. Here's Scary Pete. ScaryPete.com.
This isn't how it's supposed to be. A winter without hockey is like a beer fridge without any beer. Oh no! It's just so empty and cold because our season was stolen for reasons that are not very clear. What's wrong? Well, the players want to keep their piece of the pie. The owners all cry, we're poor. Yeah, but it's hard to feel sorry for either sob story when I can't even afford tickets anymore. So shut the puck up, bring back our game. All you owners and players do is whine and complain. Hey, if you can't make ends meet on all the money you earn, then you should get out of hockey and give someone else a turn. And shut the puck up. Away, sing it with me now. Shut the puck up. Well, for years my wife and me, we watched the hockey on TV and got it on as much as we could. Yeehaw! Yes, every Saturday night I put my helmet on tight and give her 2 minutes for looking so good. But now I don't get no action at all. My wife, she's never in the mood. But no, I don't get the same satisfaction out of watching Jeopardy in the nude. So shut the fuck up. Enough is enough. Why don't you try digging ditches if you think your jobs are so tough? Or try teaching a classroom or saving a life. Or if you really want tough, take a body check from my wife. Ooh, shut the fuck up. Rock her down now. Shut the fuck up. From the diehard fan to the concession stand to the sports bar, they're all out of luck. Out of luck. Yes, the business, she's down in every hockey town. And mon ami, this lockout, she suck. She suck. But it don't stop there, you bunch of greedy millionaire. Oh no, it's much worse than you think. How bad is it? This year, my friend Tony has to drive his Zamboni on the highs on my backyard rink. So shut the fuck up. Don't get your nose out of joint and throw away the whole season just so you can make a point. You know that sooner or later both sides will have to agree. It's like a rectal exam. Get it over with quickly and shut the fuck up. We all miss our teams. You've turned out the lights on every little kid's dream. Call it a strike or a lockout. Call kicking the ass to the fans who made you rich. So shut the fuck up. Boy!
And that was Scary Pete, scarypete.com. The guy, the video is funny. Go check it up on YouTube or his website. You see him in an arena with a hockey helmet on, and there's some funny parts in the video. And he does say one thing that's really true. Like, he was saying that they're fighting over money, but he can't even afford to go to the game. Whether, I don't know if that's true or not. It might be just comical satire or whatever else. But there's a lot of people who can't, like, to go to a Maple Leaf game is absolutely expensive. And, like, I live 4 hours away, so I would not only have to go to, if I went to the game, I would have to stay in town at a hotel. And so it's just easier to watch it on TV for myself unless I was there and I happened to scalp a ticket. But if you scalp a ticket, you might be paying like 3 times the price. And just to go to a game is absolutely insane. If you were in the States, you could go to a game real easy for a real easy price. But in Canada, where the game is really popular, I think we're sort of taken advantage of. I know last year a friend of mine was going down to New Jersey. His team was he was curious if his team was playing, which is the Montreal Canadiens. He was curious if they were playing in New Jersey, or he was just curious who was playing, and it happened to be his team. So he actually went to the game like 1/3 of the price cheaper, and he got good tickets. Isn't that insane when you can do that? I'm not sure. It seems kind of weird. Like, if you want to do anything sports-wise in the great old North America kind of thing, it costs a lot of money. I could go to a Blue Jays game, which is a professional baseball team in Toronto. I could honestly go there for $24. And the stadium's always empty. I could go see a Major League Baseball game if I wanted. And you know what? Some teams that play, they have this weird idea where, if the New York Yankees come, that's my favorite team in the Major League Baseball whole thing. But if you have a team that comes, they can charge more because it's a premium team. Like if the Toronto Raptors are to play the Los Angeles Lakers, the ticket prices almost jump up about 40%. And then if they're just playing a regular team like the Bobcats from Charlotte, then the ticket price is normal or maybe even less. So it's kind of sad that this kind of goes on in this great old world of ours. And there's lots of weird stuff. People react to things that they shouldn't really react to. There was a story recently of a lady on the GO train in Toronto. Now, I'm talking a lot about Toronto stuff recently just because it happens to be there. I mean, this lady, I don't know where she was from. I know she wasn't born in Canada just by how she talks. We're going to put the sound bite up of it. But she absolutely freaks out on a guy who accidentally hit her on a train. And she accuses him of kicking her. And the train was crowded. And he tries to tell her that, I accidentally did it. And she freaks out on him. Now, that is where we are as a society. Where we are as a society is, you've harmed me, and it wasn't an accident, you purposely did it. And how we've gotten away from saying, like, if it was me on the train, I'm not saying anything about the guy, but what I'm saying is, if it was me on the train and I hit her foot, I would say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," right away. Now, I don't know what happened here, or if she just jumped off the handle. From the video, you see it from a point where she's freaking out. So this has already gone on, and the person has recorded it with their phone. Okay, so you don't get to see what happened before that, or if he hit her and didn't realize it, or whatever else. But she absolutely freaks out on this guy, and that's, like I said, that's where we are as a society, just to automatically assume that someone has it out for you, that someone has harm intended for you. And so I'm going to play that sound bite right now for you from YouTube. You can look it up. A woman freaks out on GO train. And then we're going to come back from that. And we're going to talk some other stuff. There's some other stuff that went on in this world that is so crazy, so insane. Yeah, we're going to go with it. We're going to go with it, okay, people? Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, people.
Try! Why don't you try? I'm going to fucking call the cops. Take me out, Pop.
You're embarrassing.
You are embarrassing. You as a man take a woman.
Yes.
Yes, and that is so pathetic. Man!
You want me to do it again?
Yes!
Let's keep your feet yourself, okay?
You owe me an apology, pal. Jackass. What you laughing? You kicked a woman. You kicked a woman first. You laugh what? And walk.
You're free to respond.
What spot?
Look, this is a busy train.
Yes, it is, and you kicked me! Son of a bitch, you kicked me!
Quiet.
You kicked me! You kicked me! Asshole, and you call yourself a man? Fucking asshole! No shame, no pride, no nothing! You only have your fucking neck! Why should I shut up? I'm not an idiot! He kicked me! I was hurt! Goddammit! Fuck you! Yes, I am! And I want to embarrass him too! It's only your personal opinion! Fucking asshole, you kicked me! First!
I'm about to tell who the asshole is if they come here. I'll tell you exactly who the asshole is.
Good! And I will be telling you my side of the story too! Look at your iPad! Fucking asshole, such a violent guy. Kick people! Not even merely educated. I gave you half a spot. Fucking asshole, such a violent guy. Physically kicking people. Physically kicking people. Such a violent person. Embarrassing myself. Full intention of embarrassing him too.
You call yourself a man? That has to be the funniest part in there. Anyhow, she should have not freaked out like that, and it's pathetic at how she did. And it's sad that we're at that place as a society, as a civilized society. We're at that place where people are that rude. 50 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. 30 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. Even 20 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. Even 10 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. Not in Canada. Not in this great land of ours. Anyhow, I'm going to move on to the next part of what I want to talk about. And it happens to be a University of Tennessee scandal. Butt chugging. Now, there is a lawyer in this video. He is talking to reporters, and they're talking about butt chugging on the press conference. Now you see this guy. There's a bunch of fraternity brothers around. They have sunglasses on. And apparently, what happened is they got so drunk that they don't remember butt chugging. And apparently, when they went to the hospital, and you hear the guy refer to him as, "I'm joined by this guy. He was the former president of this fraternity, and he was asked if he butt chugged, and he said, 'What was that?'" Now, I don't know how many times they say butt chugging in this 10-minute clip. It's 9 minutes and 44 seconds of butt chugging comments. Now, I haven't listened to the whole thing, so I'm probably going to cut it short when I do listen to it and I put it in and I insert it in the podcast. But I just want you to hear the first part of it, or a few minutes of the butt chugging talking. I can't believe that this is something. Now, if you don't know what butt chugging is, do you remember back in the day you were at university and you used to take the funnel and you would take beer and you'd put it in your mouth and you would just chug it? Well, butt chugging is the art of sticking the funnel up your ass. And when you do, the beer or whatever else you're drinking, I think in this case it was boxed wine or something like that, went up his butt or up their butts and got them really drunk. Sounds like something out of Jackass, actually. But no, some tool actually did this. And got so drunk that he was in the hospital and doesn't remember it. And then all of a sudden there's a lawyer talking on national TV about butt chugging. And you'll hear him refer to it as a word, 2 words, butt chugging, which are now known across the United States and now across the world, made famous by these guys. What a bunch of tools. Why have a press conference? Why is this even news? So they butt chugged. So what? They're a fraternity. They do weird stuff all the time. Does it really matter? No. But it's dangerous for their health, I think. Because it goes right into your blood system. It's just retarded. Anyhow, not retarded. Not in a bad way, but in a stupid way. Not special people kind of way. It's just so... Oh my god. It's like the girls who get drunk at school. This is a thing too, where they take tampons and put alcohol in them and then put it in their vagina and then they get drunk that way. Weird, eh? Weird how people think to get drunk or high and just can't find any other way to do it. Now, there's been stories of kids at my kids' schools who actually do this kind of thing, and I think it's really dangerous. It's really bad. And you shouldn't do it, kids. If you're listening to me, don't butt chug and don't do vodka tampons because they're just absolutely terrible and horrible, and you shouldn't do it. It's dangerous for you and dangerous for your health. And I want you to listen to Ehnother podcast every week until I die, and we'll talk more about my demise later on. Okay? So here is the butt chugging interview. Butt chug!
And I would like to say from the very beginning, at the time when George Bach was right here, was the president of Pi Kappa Alpha on this campus. When Mr. Bach went into his hospital room at the University of Tennessee Medical Center, he asked Xander if he had been butt chugging. And Xander's comment was, "What in the world is that?" I appeared about 30 minutes later, along with the chapter advisor of Pi Kappa Alpha. And I informed him that the reason that I was there was to ask him whether or not he had been involved in an activity called butt chugging. And he looked at me like I'd lost my mind and said, "What is that?" And ladies and gentlemen, that is the first time that he had ever heard of the 2 words, butt chugging, which have now become 2 famous words across the United States and across the world. Mr. Broughton, it is Broughton, not Broughton, it's Broughton, Scotch, denies each and every allegation whatsoever that has been inferred that he may be a gay man. He is a straight man, and he thinks that the idea and the concept of butt chugging is absolutely repulsive.
Okay, welcome back from your butt chugging segment. Now, this is Thanksgiving, so I'm thankful for all the people that bring me awesome stories. So those 3, Scary Pete didn't bring me a story. I just happened to a friend sent me his video, so I'm thankful for that video. It's awesome. It's great. And then the other two stories of the woman freaking out and then the butt chugging just lead us to show us where we are as a society. Now we're on to the awesome parts of society where I'm so thankful for that we get to read this online. So weird news. Here we go. This is my segment for this week to bring you some other stuff. Weird news. Here we go. Mom charged for tattooing daughter. The daughter's 11. This is how it starts. A tattooed North Carolina mom is charged with giving her 11-year-old daughter a heart-shaped tat using her own tools. This mom is a retard and a tool herself. So the mom must be a tattoo artist, and she tattooed her 11-year-old daughter. Her name is Odessa Clay, 30, of Pamlico County, was charged last month and was unaware that giving a tattoo to a person under the age of 18 is illegal in that state. So she inked her daughter on the right shoulder after numbing the child's arm. So this lady here did something that my daughter is 17 right now. She wants to get a few tattoos, and we told her repeatedly that we will not sign off on it, that she has to wait until she's old enough to sign off on it and pay for it herself. Now, sure, we could be nice and go sign off on it, but if at any time later on she ever regrets it or says, why did you let me do this, or say she even gets some kind of like hepatitis C, God forbid, or whatever else, then we don't want to be the ones that let her go do that. So it has to be a total decision on her own. I have a tattoo. My wife has a tattoo. I would get more, but you know what? I think one is good enough. Sometimes I want to get one, but I don't. So there's a lot of risk factors. That being said, I wonder if I should talk to the guy who did my tattoo and interview him for the show. Wouldn't that be cool? Get a tattoo artist, get some stories from a tattoo artist. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to contact him and see if I can set that up. Just another person to talk to on this busy schedule. Anyhow, so she tattooed her daughter. It was wrong, and she was charged. Now, that is not the only thing that went on in the past week. You can buy alcohol that has been poured over the boobs of some bare-breasted model. So a German liquor. I've been drinking some liquor, obviously, this morning. A German liquor manufacturer has released a special edition line of rum, vodka, and whiskey, which is guaranteed that it's been poured over a sexy model's bare breasts before it was bottled. So you can have boob alcohol. I heard it's pretty expensive, actually, to do. If you want to buy that, you can buy that. I'm sure it'll be on LCBO, which is in Ontario. Shelves are around here soon, or around the world. You can get boob alcohol. Doesn't that sound awesome? I mean, honestly, it does sound awesome, but I'm just saying, just because I like boobs. But, so you can get boobs poured over... Boobs poured over booze. Booze poured over boobs, and I'm thankful for that. That's that's awesome. And the last one we're going to do, hopefully, I haven't even read this, I just clicked on it right now. Drunk BC man passes out, he must have been drinking booze, gets burned in fire and hit by a train. Like, how bizarre is that? Let's see, I guess he's recovering in hospital. Lucky guy. I mean, he got drunk, and they found some serious burns on his body and a deep gash to the head where he'd been struck by the train. And then soon the police linked all the cases, and he passed out while he was smoking behind his home and woke up to find his clothes and surrounding grass on fire. He grabbed a bike and took off. Apparently, no charges are being laid. And do you believe in bad luck? That is it. I mean, is that bad luck? It's a little bit of bad luck. A little bit of stupidity, really, if you get drunk and then all that other stuff. So, yeah. So, Thanksgiving. This is where we are today. Thanksgiving. And I'm going to go back and get some random facts before we close off the podcast. I'm putting it back in. Thanksgiving 2012 Canada. And I'm going to go to the Wikipedia page again. Let's see. Is there other places that celebrate... Liberia and Puerto Rico and Norfolk Island also celebrate Thanksgiving. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So the origins of the Canadian Thanksgiving can also be traced to the French settlers who came to New France, which is Quebec. No, if you look at maps, they'll show you where New France was, but mostly Quebec. We love our people from Quebec. We love them. Let's see. Yes, just so you know, Thanksgiving is a statutory holiday in Canada, in most jurisdictions in Canada. Wow, all the Atlantic provinces don't seem to celebrate it, suckers. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of history of the ones in the United States. So apparently the Pilgrims and the Indians had big, and I say Indians because in Canada it's not derogatory to say Indians, but in America they're called Native Americans, so we'll go back to Native Americans. The Native Americans sat down and had a great meal with white men. And they ate turkey and other things that were on the table. And then they said, "Oh, thank you for not killing us, white men. We will now live on reserve until we all die off and you take our land for casinos." So that's what happened. And then they have a thing called Black Friday, which is, because it's a month before Christmas in the United States, they have all these amazing sales that they go and take care of. So they get stuff for cheap, but they stand in line overnight after they've ate their turkey, and then they go and watch American football, and then after that they go stand in line at Best Buy. Now Best Buy is this place where you can buy electronics, boys and girls, and at Best Buy you can get Xboxes and PlayStations and cell phones and video cameras and movies and DVDs and Blu-rays and music and computers and TVs and DVD players and sound systems for your car, and all these were given to us by the Indians and the Pilgrims. So when they go celebrate, they buy stuff from the Indians and Pilgrims and they put them on shelves. That is the history of Thanksgiving in America. That is how they celebrate it. There's nothing about to do with the harvest. And there's nothing to do with that. They go and buy stuff made by Indians, or Native Americans, and the Pilgrims, who are slaves this day and came over from somewhere. Yeah, that's how it happens. They also have big Thanksgiving Day parades with floating helium balloons and big turkeys, and the Macy Thanksgiving Day parade. They do things like that. So that is Thanksgiving in the United States of America. Plus they have turkey. I don't know what they eat at Christmas. I don't know if they eat turkey at Christmas or if they eat Christmas ham, the canned ham. Ugh, sounds disgusting. We eat Thanksgiving at... Well, we eat Thanksgiving turkey. That's what we eat. And there's many ways to cook turkey. You can bake it in the oven, or you can deep fry it. Now, you might think that that sounds disgusting, and it's probably really bad for you, but it's so good. Oh, the juices of the turkey coming in and going out. No, they don't go out. But what happens is, this is what happens. You never put a frozen turkey in a deep fryer, because it will explode. No, for real. I don't know if there's any videos of it on YouTube, but if you put a frozen turkey, absolutely frozen, into the deep fryer, it explodes. So you can't do that. It's got to be fresh, unthawed turkey. So you put it in there, and what happens is all the skin creates a shield around the turkey meat. And so all the juices inside the turkey stay inside the turkey, and it's the most juiciest turkey you've ever eaten in your life. And it doesn't take very long to do it, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you can deep fry a turkey, it's so good. It has to be a whole turkey, and like I said, fresh, not frozen. Like you can be unthawed, right? Don't get me wrong, but it's so good when you unthaw that turkey and you put it in the juice and it deep fries, and oh my god, it melts in your mouth. Ugh. Yeah, it melts in your mouth. Turkey's awesome. I like turkey. And then afterwards you can have, what do you call those? Clubhouse sandwiches? Oh yeah, clubhouse sandwiches. So good. So, it's been another year of Thanksgiving. So I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for all you listeners, all my friends. Thankful for every day that I get to breathe and live a life. And I'm thankful for what happened earlier this year when I got a little drunk and I broke my iPhone. But you can see the video on the page, ehnotherpodcast.com. Share it with people. I'm embarrassed by it because I'm a little bit overweight. And I'm going to work on that, seriously, so that I can't be embarrassed anymore about myself. Because I am absolutely embarrassed with myself, and that's the honest truth. I'm a big guy, and I shouldn't be. And I'm going to work on it really hard. Which means no more Pepsi, or pop, or beer for a while. Until I get everything under control and become the man I want to become. So I have a long road ahead of me, and I'll keep you posted on how that goes. And so for now, it's another podcast. You can hear the soundbite of me getting a little loopy. And check it out on the website because it's there. And I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. I know it's not Thanksgiving in the States yet, but when you do, have a happy Thanksgiving. And I don't know if there's anything else I can talk about except for future plans of this podcast, which I'm going to do in a minute after... I'm going to play the song that I played last week from Kid Russell. What's his name? Yeah. Kid Russell. CHI. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you more about what I want to do with the podcast and the plans I have going forward. And then we're going to end it. Okay? CHI, bitches. Kid Russell.
CHI. C-A-G. I'm from the city, second chances, built from out the ashes. Pippin and Jordan used to dish at the Paxson. Now we got our faith in, rose so amazing. My city is the city every athlete wants to play in. Cause we got a skyline, and we got a lakeshore. Rolling down I-90, man, you know we major. Summer ain't no other place you would ever wanna be. Ladies shed their winter coat, you think the loop was South Beach. Sipping on a 312, chilling at the double door. Watching some of the best local music that you ever saw. Yeah, said you ever saw. We should have a couple labels built out here, bro. But instead we gotta grind hard, so we gotta grind cards. Going international from our own backyards. I dream as big as my city. I know there's plenty other people in my city with me. I'm from the C, the C, the H, the H, I, C, A, G. From the gold to win the city, the shy. The second city got big shoulders till we die. I'm from the C, the C, the H, the H, I, C, A, G. From the gold to win the city, the shy. The second city got big shoulders till we die. Catch me on Pulaski Day, eating the Al's beef, hitting on the beautiful ladies at UIC. Catch me in the springtime at a Cubs game, drunk as hell, screaming at the players on the other team. Or in the fall, tailgating at Soldiers Field. If the old don't score, tell them how I feel. In the shy, yo, we always keep it real. That's why all over the world we have so much appeal. We the heart of a nation, a place for vacation, where tourists eat deep dish pizza with elation. Then tell their friends, Sears Tower's so legit. And we say that Willis name ain't shit. From actors to rappers, from brokers to ballers, we all on the L train trying to make a dollar. In my city we go, go, go. We work hard, play hard, and we party till 4. From the C, the C, the H, the H, I, C, A, G. From the gold to win the city, the shy. The second city got big shoulders till we die. From the C, the C, the H, the H, I, C, A, G. Oh, from the gold to win the city to shine. The second city got big shoulders till we die. Been to Philly for a cheesesteak, Boston for a Sox game, New York for some business, LA to get laid, Vegas like a rock star, Denver ski to rock star, Miami hit the clubs, New Orleans for a Mardi Gras. But I ain't never been to another place that made me wanna leave the Great Lakes. And when it's hot outside, our city comes alive. Gotta work on our own murder rate, but we got jazz, blues, beat, rap, and the juke. Got Common and Lou and Kid on that new. Got Piven and Barack, Billy Deck and Oprah, and so many more. Working our way to the top. Got the C-Bot where I first got fired. Whatever happened to the fucking Spire? No matter where I go around the globe, after rocking the show, I can't wait to get back home. I'm from the C, the C, the H, the H, the H, the I, C, A, G. Oh, from the gold to win the city to shine. The second city got big shoulders till we die. I'm from the C, the C, the C, A, the H, the H, the I, C, A, G. Oh, from the gold to win the city to shine. The second city got big shoulders till we die. I'm from the C, H, I, C, A, G.
And that was CHI by Kid Russell. You can go check out his stuff, kidrussellmusic.com. Go check him out on there. And he's got a song. It reminds me of Thanksgiving because it's obviously about that time, called Backyard Heroes, where they play football and stuff, and they get together on Thanksgiving, I guess, and do that. And yeah. Sadly, in Canada, there's no one to play football with. The street is pretty much dead right now. There's no snow in Canada, so I'm planning out what I'm going to do with the podcast. And what I'm going to do with the podcast is this. So OJ will be coming in on Saturday, recording episode 12, which won't play, because this is episode 10, my lucky number. I'm going to tell you a little bit about 10 in a minute, one of my favorite numbers from when I was a kid. This is getting posted on October 8th, 2012. And then October 15th is episode 11, which is with Nick Tan, which I recorded this morning with him. And it was a great interview, good times. He played a little song, and it's really good stuff, really good interview. So I thank him for sitting down with me there. A special episode of Real Music, which we're recording on the radio on Saturday the 13th on CKLU with OJ, is going to go up on the 19th. The episode that I record with OJ is going to go up on the 22nd of October. And then the episode that I record with G-Rant, a Sudbury radio personality, will go up on October 29th. So that brings me to the end of October, right before Halloween. And yeah, that's good. Also, I'm going to try to get... I have a friend, well, he's a friend on Facebook. He did my tattoo. It would be cool to get a tattoo artist in here to talk a little bit about what they do. I also have another friend. I don't know how I will do this, seeing as she and her boyfriend are busy running a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I can't even say Jiu-Jitsu studio here in town, and they're pretty busy, but if I can get some time to interview them and put it on, I would like to do that. I'll be sitting down eventually with the head coach of the women's basketball team of Cambrian College, my alma mater from back in the day, and he's going to sit down and talk a little bit. And I have a couple other people that I would like to get that I haven't contacted yet, so I have to work on that. And of course, always OJ and I are going to do the podcast, and some other people, and just put it in and get it going. This once a week thing is working out great so far. Barring any kind of setback, we're going to keep going forward, keep bringing you the good stuff, keep bringing you another podcast. And like I promised before, here's the soundbite of me getting drunk and falling on my ass. View the video on YouTube, or go to my page, ehnotherpodcast.com. Follow me on Ehnotherpodcast at twitter.com. You can find me there, Ehnother, as always, podcast. I hope you enjoy the show. Like I said at the beginning, send me feedback. I would love your feedback. I would love to hear from you, the listener, if you actually like what I'm doing and all this stuff, because I like doing it for you. And if anything, if only I'm the only one listening to it, then I'm the only one listening to it. But I think there's a few other ones out there that are just a little bit fans of the show and might be enjoying themselves. So until next time, until the 15th, when you hear from me and Nick Tan, I hope you have a good week. I hope you enjoyed another podcast. I have been your host, James, and I will see you next week with Nick Tan talking about his great stuff that he has. And here's my drunk ass for your pleasure. Bye.
Beer over here. 24, not 36. 2-4. I go to the beer store. I swap my card.
You gotta show this.
2-4. I put some ice in there. I bring it here, and you're like, I'm pulling your plates, bro. I'm pulling your plates, cause I'm a mechanic. I know what I'm talking about, bitch. So then I was like, what the fuck ever, bro? So I said, you know what? Tara's driving it home. Yeah. You didn't do that? Oh my god. Exactly. Nothing. Nothing. I was like, do you want some barbecue? No, I got moose meat. What the fuck is barbecue? What the fuck is barbecue?
Thanks for listening, everyone. It means the world to me. It really does. Ehnotherpodcast.com. You can always find everything that you need for the podcast. There's going to be photos, videos. There's a video YouTube channel that will be going up very shortly. More details on that later. It'll probably be called Ehnother Podcast. So follow us on Twitter, ehnotherpodcast.com at Twitter, whatever. Thanks for listening. Bye.